At 18, money looked like numbers and noise. Numbers on a bank app that rose or fell with paychecks and pizza. Noise from adults who said to save more without telling me how. Sales that insisted the deal ended at midnight. And friends who turned spending into a group project. I did not understand that money is less about math and more about behavior. Habits you wire once and let run, systems that protect you when you're tired, and a way of seeing time that most people never learn until they are out of runway. If I could hand my 18-year-old self a single document, it would not be a list of hacks. It would be a set of principles, rules humble enough to survive real life and strong enough to change it. Here they are. Pay yourself first is not a slogan, it is an identity. When you treat saving as whatever is left at month end, there is never anything left. Life expands to fill the space available, like gas in a room. The rent is due, the car needs a battery, your friend texts drinks, and your discipline evaporates into a night you won't remember a year from now. Pay yourself first means you choose a number on payday and move it to safety before you ever open an app that spends it. It can be $10 or 10%. The amount matters less than the motion. Make the transfer automatic, label the account with the truth, emergency, freedom, down payment, and refuse to touch it except for the purpose on the label. Do this at 18 with small numbers, and the habit will scale when the numbers get big. Compound interest is not a myth for patient monks. It is a machine you can own early in tiny slices. The first 100 you invest is more decisive than the 1,000 you wait to invest next year because the calendar is not fair. Money that starts earlier travels further. At 18, a basic index fund, the boring, low-cost kind that buys little pieces of many companies, beats most cleverness as long as you let it work and keep adding. You will be tempted to pause contributions when the headlines shout, "Don't." You will be tempted to pick a genius stock? Fine. Do it with an amount so small that failure is a lesson, not a life detour. The rule is simple. Automate a contribution you can keep, increase it with raises, and ignore people who need you to be excited for their plan to sell you anything. A budget is not a spreadsheet. It is a guardrail. You do not need to predict every coffee. You need a system that protects your future from your weekends. The simplest version works like this. One account pays fixed bills, one account is for savings and goals, one account is your free spend for everything variable. On payday, money flows automatically to each lane. You check only one balance during the week, the free spend, and you live inside that number. When the balance is low, you slow down. When it hits zero, you pause. You are not a villain for wanting sushi. You are a steward of a number that must carry you to Friday. Stewardship is kinder than shame. It keeps you honest without making money a second job. Lifestyle creep is gravity. If you let it, your desires will calibrate to your income within a month, then surpass it. The way to break gravity is to write a raise rule now before you want a new car. For example, 70% of any raise or windfall goes to savings and investments, 20% to taxes and insurance adjustments, 10% to life upgrades that remove friction. Adjust the percentages to your life, but write them down. When a raise arrives, you execute the rule the same day. HR changes, auto transfers adjusted, one small upgrade chosen, and the rest ignored. People who look calm did not suppress desire. They scheduled it and fenced it with math. Debt is a tool with teeth. Use it for assets that earn or essential timing problems you've planned for. Avoid it for identity. A credit card can be a rewards instrument if you treat it like a debit card with a delay, paid in full automatically every month. A car loan for a reliable vehicle that gets you to work can be rational. A car loan for a badge on the hood that buys 5 minutes of applause and 5 years of payments is a penalty box with leather seats. Student loans can unlock earnings if the degree leads to a field you researched with honest payback math. They can also trap you if you borrowed for a vague major from an expensive school because that's what everyone did. The rule is forward-only math. If you would not buy the thing again at today's price, given what you know now, stop feeding it and plan your exit. Your phone is a vending machine living in your pocket. Disable one-click shopping, remove saved cards from browsers, turn off promotional notifications, bury shopping apps in a folder 2 swipes deep, and create a 48-hour list for anything non-essential. None of this is moral theater. It is environmental design. The default path should be to see your goal on your lock screen, not a sale. The friction you add will save you more than any coupon ever has, and you will notice that the desire to buy turns into a desire to do. Walk, call a friend, cook, make. Give boredom something enriching to do, and it will stop ordering packages. Emergency funds are not about money. They are about dignity. When a crisis hits, job loss, health scare, broken transmission, you can either borrow your way into a deeper hole, or you can interrupt nothing. You pay the bill, you keep contributing to investments, you keep your promises, you sleep. Start with a microfund of $1,000 to $1,500 and keep it in a separate, labeled savings account. Then grow it towards 3 months of essential expenses and eventually 6. At 18, the amounts will be small. That is a gift. Build the habit while the numbers are friendly, because life gets bigger and so do the shocks. An emergency fund is not lazy. It is a shield that makes you brave in rooms where brave gets paid. Friends are a financial plan. Your circle will either normalize habits that keep you solvent or slowly convince you that celebration equals consumption and status equals spending. You do not need rich friends. You need friends who can enjoy a park, a potluck, a library visit, a game night, a long walk, with coffee from home. You need friends who will praise your raise rule and your weekly check-ins, not mock them. You need friends who don't turn every night into a bar tab. At 18, you choose peers as much as they choose you. Choose people whose default fun is cheap and deep. Your future self will send them thank you notes in 10 years without realizing why. Jobs are not just paychecks, they are skill farms. At 18, the most valuable currency you can collect is competence that compounds. Writing that is clear and fast, numbers that you can translate into decisions, customer conversations that calm and close, software your peers avoid, tools that underlie many roles, Excel, SQL, basic design, scripting, public speaking. Each skill you stack becomes leverage you can sell for better titles, better hours, or your own projects. Do not chase the role that sounds glamorous this year. Chase the role that builds the muscles you will cash in 5 years. Keep a brag document of outcomes you caused: money saved, revenue added, errors removed. Outcomes rent better apartments than opinions. Investing should be boring on purpose. Find a low-cost index fund that tracks a broad market. An S&P 500 fund inside a retirement account is a clean starting line. Turn on automatic contributions and reinvest dividends. If your employer offers a match, take that before you buy anything shiny. Rebalance once or twice a year if you hold more than one fund. That's it. The people yelling on screens make money when you act. You make money when you do not. When you feel the itch to tinker, add one tiny play bucket where you can be curious without burning the machine that will fund your future.
Housing is both shelter and signal. Choose shelter. If you rent, rent the right location for your current life. Near work or school, near people you actually see, near parks or gyms that keep you sane. A low rent with a long commute is a hidden luxury tax in hours and energy. If you buy later, buy the right payment, not the maximum the bank allows. A home that requires you to pray for every bonus is a stress factory. A home that fits easily in a normal month makes everything else feel lighter. Put your ego in a drawer when you sign a lease or a deed. You live in the rooms, not in other people's reactions. Food is where budgets go to die because it intersects with time, health, and social life. Solve it with a simple rhythm. A small rotation of meals you can cook on autopilot, a grocery list that maps to those meals, and a default plan for 4 nights out of 7. Keep a handful of staples that assemble quickly: eggs, oats, rice, beans, frozen veg, a protein you like, a decent oil, spices you'll actually use. Batch once to avoid delivery 3 times. Preview your week on Sunday and decide which days are for cooking and which are for friends or takeout. You are not erasing joy. You are preventing hunger and fatigue from becoming a $45 solution to a $12 problem. Credit scores are not a personality trait. They are a key pair. Open a starter credit card, put a small bill on it, and pay in full automatically every month. Keep utilization low, preferably under 10 to 30%. Don't close your oldest card unless there is a compelling reason. Dispute errors politely and in writing. Freeze your credit at bureaus when you're not applying. Thaw it when you need to. A good score lowers insurance premiums and rent deposits and makes emergencies easier to handle. It is not fame, it is plumbing. You maintain it quietly so your life flows. Generosity is not something you wait to practice until you are set. It is a habit that keeps money from becoming your meaning. Give a small amount regularly to causes you believe in and people you know who need a hand. Buy a friend a book that changed you. Pay for a meal when you can. Offer time to someone trying to break into your field. These acts do not slow your wealth, they clean it. They remind you that you are part of a web and that money is a means to lessen pain and increase possibility. The paradox is that generous people often attract opportunities because they are connected and trusted. Give quietly. The return arrives in shapes you won't predict. Negotiation is a life skill hiding in plain sight. Ask for raises with receipts, not vibes. Keep a running document of your wins, quantify them in dollars or time saved, and present them calmly. Negotiate bills like internet and phone with politeness and persistence. Negotiate rent respectfully at renewal with data and flexibility on term length. Negotiate large purchases by being willing to walk away. Negotiation is not confrontation, it is alignment. You are looking for terms that work for both sides. At 18, practice on small things so you can stay steady on big ones. Travel is not a binary of can or can't. It is a system you can learn. Pick fewer trips and plan them better. Aim for off-peak dates, direct flights, walkable neighborhoods, and lodging with a kitchen. Swap quantity for quality. One well-planned trip beats 3 chaotic ones that end in bet. Use points and miles carefully, but never let them force you to spend more than you would without them. Your goal is to see more of the world while keeping your home base steady. Adventure paid in cash tastes better, and it doesn't follow you home as a balance. Mistakes are tuition. You will overdraft, buy junk you regret, forget to cancel something, wait too long to invest, sell something too early, hold something too long. When it happens, write what you learned on paper and change one system that would have prevented it. Maybe it's an alert, a cooling off list, an automatic transfer, a calendar reminder. Shame is a terrible teacher. Systems teach quietly and permanently. If you can extract a rule from your worst purchase, the price you paid shifts from waste to education. Protect your downside with boring hygiene. Use a password manager, turn on 2-factor authentication, back up your files. Keep a folder with scans of IDs and critical documents. Learn how renter's insurance works and what it doesn't cover. If you have dependents, consider term life insurance early. It's cheap when you're young and healthy. Boredom in this corner of your life is a blessing. You are building a firewall around your future, so a single click does not erase years of effort. Your attention is your scarcest resource. The world makes money by renting it from you. Decide who gets to do that. Delete or mute what turns you into a customer without your consent. Feeds that sell, friends who compete, communities that confuse buying with belonging. Replace them with inputs that build. Books, mentors, peers who like to make rather than only consume. Long walks without headphones. Hard questions about what a good week looks like for you. Money follows attention. Aim attention where you want money to follow. Pick a few default scripts for common moments. When someone invites you to an expensive plan in a month where you're tight, can't this time, doing dinner at mine Friday. Come if you can. When a salesperson pushes a limited time deal, if it's right for me, it will be right next week. When you want to impulse buy, I'll put it on the list and look Friday. When a bill is wrong, I'd like to resolve this today. Here's what I'm seeing. Scripts lower the emotional cost of doing the right thing. They let you act without adrenaline. The biggest rule of all, design for real life, not an imagined one. If you hate spreadsheets, don't promise to track 15 categories. Run the one number free spend system and review once a week. If you love coffee, do not build a budget that scolds you for a ritual that makes your day. You'll rebel. Buy the great beans, brew at home, invite a friend on a walk. If you are ADHD or easily distracted, create money systems with fewer steps, autopay, split deposits, alerts, a single dashboard. If you share money with a partner, protect 2 small personal allowances so nobody feels policed. Plans that ignore your wiring are plans that fail loudly. Build the one you will keep. Finally, remember that wealth is not a number, it is a week. A week where your rent or mortgage is paid without dread, where your meals are simple and good, where your work builds a skill you'll sell for more later, where your evenings contain a friend and a walk, where your phone is quiet until you need it, where your account balances tell you the truth and you can look without flinching, where a small automatic transfer happens in the background and you hardly notice. Stack these weeks and the numbers will grow. Chase the numbers and you may trample the weeks until the math is moot. At 18, you are not behind. You are blessed with time and cursed with noise. Turn down the noise with systems you trust. Choose a few rules and let them run. Pay yourself first. Invest automatically in boring funds. Keep a humble emergency stash. Live below your approval limit. Schedule your fun. Make your phone a tool, not a temptation. And raise your savings rate when your income rises. Then go build a life that uses money well rather than worships it. Money is a great employee and a bad boss. Hire it with a plan and fire it from your anxieties. In a few years, you will meet a version of yourself who is calm in rooms where others panic, generous when it counts, and free to say yes to opportunities because you did not sell your attention to the nearest sale banner. That is the real return, and it begins the day you decide your rules.